Hello, 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 everyone. We're back again. I'm so excited on another beautiful, beautiful Monday. When I tell you this is going to be a program, this is really educational. And I can't wait for you to meet these two wonderful, wonderful husband and wife team that's going to educate us and educate me too. I know quite a bit about it, but I don't know everything. So I'm going to tell you about what we're going to have today. First, I'd like to thank you all for being here, whether you're a live viewer or a replay viewer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You really appreciate taking time out to watch the Mary D Talk Show. I'd like to also thank those of you that have been purchasing the books. You know, I always try to show you. Here they are right here. The books that are coming through. They're really, I think it's just the time of year, whatever. But I can tell you now, just for you to support these authors, as you know, some of our authors, the youngest author is 9 and the oldest author is 89. Hi, Dr. Henry. And I have to say that because, as many of you know, Dr. Henry, I admired her for years. I didn't know that our publishing company would be the one to publish her book, but we were. And this is Dr. Henry's book. So let me show you that. And that's From the Ashes I Rise. I don't know if you guys can, there we go. That's a better look right there. You can get all of these books on Amazon. So let me show you these really quickly, and then we'll get started on the show. And this is So Happy. This is another one of our authors. This is Fayette. And Fayette, you can see the book. There we go. Another one. Oh, and I show you one, and I'm going to tell you about a new one that's coming. So now you guys you'll be the first ones to see this one. My Cat is a Spy. This is our son's Justin's book. My Cat is a Spy. This is one of mine, Stuck in the Elevator. So if you're familiar with that one, try to get the glare off of it. Saying no nicely. This is so interesting. I'm not the only one that suffered from saying yes and didn't know how to say no. This one has done extremely well on Amazon. So thank you to all of you that purchases. You can read this book, ladies and gentlemen, about 30 minutes. I'm not kidding you. 30 minutes. It's not a big read, but you'll learn a lot during that time. Have you seen The Red Elephant? Some of you seen that one. And the new one that's coming out, the children's book, is this one, which is Justin Lost a Tooth. Well, I'm sorry. Before I do Justin Lost a Tooth, I almost forgot. Peyton the Pink Well with the Yellow Tail. As many of you know, this is Oliver's favorite. I don't have any favorites. I never tell my books I have a favorite. They're all my favorites, so just so you know. And then this is the new one that's coming out soon. Is Justin Lost a Tooth. It'll be out any day. Oh, this and the one now. And I always talk to you about this one, this is so important. Save Your Home from Probate. Everybody knows about this one. I've talked about this how many times? I'll hold it up again. That having a will is not enough. You have to do more than a will. You really do. And this is real. I mean, it's doing well. This is how I feel. I think if you own a home, you should have that book. Let me just say that. Now, one that it hasn't come out yet. Let me say that to all of you. I don't even think I've talked about it much. That is the anthology. 15 authors. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. 15 authors have come together. We have short stories. We have poetry. We even have a song. We have one of the authors written a song, and it's in the book. This is an original song. It's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. And I say that not just because I know the author personally, but because the song is beautiful. But I would tell you the name of it. It's an anthology, and it's called Transformations. Transformations. You haven't seen much about it, but you will. It'll be in the next, and those of you that are on the email list, you'll start seeing more and more about transformation. So that's coming. And as I said before, there's short stories, poetry. There's even a memorial to one young man. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. And his mother submitted one of his poems. I'm really, really proud of that she was willing to submit some of his works because he definitely is a writer and he's an excellent poet, and some of his works are in the book too. So now I'd like to take this time to introduce to you our guest for today. Now, our guest for today, it is a husband and wife team. This is only our second, I think, husband and wife team on the show. It really is. So I'm really excited about having them. But I'm going to read their bios to you so you get an idea of who these lovely people are. They are Stan Amiri Futch. He is after 34 years with the Riverside City Fire Department. Stan Amiri Futch retired and followed his wife Shelia Umbji. And I'm probably saying their name wrong, by the way. So they will correct me. And his mentor, Ratibu Jaycox, to the San Bernardino Rialto area to join work on projects and events. He joined the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group and the Westside Action Group. As a member of the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group, Amiri assists with Kwanzaa community events. He serves as the president of the Westside Action Group, a community forum better known as WAG. Through WAG, he supports organizations such as the Ronald Mc Donald House, the Socialites Beautillion Knights, the Debutants, and the IE Black Grad program. Amiri is also a longtime member of the group, which is located in Riverside. In his spare time, Stan Amiri enjoys traveling with his wife. Shelia Umbji, I hope I said that right, Shelia Futch. Shelia Umbji Futch is a veteran of the Air Force, retired from the State of California Assembly, and is a substitute teacher for Riverside County Schools Alternative Education. Umbji is a member of Toastmasters International. Her home club is Vernon Bragg Jr. Rialto Toastmasters Club. Umbji is a member of the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group and co-sponsor community Kwanzaa events. She's a board member for the Brightest Star Incorporated. She coordinates youth field trips to the Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park, volunteers at after-school programs, and when called upon, assists with evaluating presentations for the Sheriff's Explorer Scout Program and San Bernardino County Schools. Umbji was featured in the Toastmasters International magazine as a mentor to other Toastmasters. She also enjoys spending time with her family and traveling and discovering the history of distant places. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Amiri and Umbji. Are you there? There you are. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here.
On this beautiful day.
Oh, isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? It is. Well, I know too. Before I can even get started with the show, I'm seeing some comments come in already of Merry Christmas and hello and everything. I think those of you that like to write comments, you have to go to YouTube to do it. Well, or maybe Facebook. I see some coming in through Facebook too. Okay, good. And they're coming in from Gary, Indiana. So thank you from Gary, Indiana. Hi, Gary, Indiana. Well, let's say this. I know Amiri and Umbji, just your names alone. I'm going to start there. How did you acquire those names?
We acquired our names from Dr. Malana Karenga way back 20, 25 years ago. We were married for 25 years, so it had to be before that. Okay. And how our names were chosen is he always say, pick 3 characteristics, your strongest characteristics, 3. Give it to me. And then he came up with a word. My name is Umbji, which stands for creativity, one who is creative.
And my name is Amiri, and my name means a jack of all trades. In other words, I can do a lot of things.
Oh, well, I like to, before we even get started, I do want to apologize to you because I did spell your name wrong. My apologies on the flyer. And it was just being busy. That's all it was. So please accept my apology for that.
No problem.
Now tell us about, I don't want to say his name wrong for that actually how Kwanzaa even came about. The name Kwanzaa, the history of Kwanzaa. I'll turn it over to you. Tell us all about it.
What led to Kwanzaa? Dr. Malana Karenga created Kwanzaa in 1966 as a way of bringing the African American community together, a way to reconnect to their roots, their community, a way of uniting and empowering the African American community. The Inland Area Kwanzaa Group was created by the late Ratibu Jacobs and Amina Carter. My first participation was in 1994, and we've been celebrating ever since.
Wow. Well, I know too. It's because I know a little bit about the history, but not a lot about it. Because I believe, is he still teaching at Cal State at Long Beach?
Yes, Long Beach. Mm-hmm.
That's what I understand. But now millions all over the world celebrate. I mean, the numbers are just staggering. If you go on Facebook, it's all types of Facebook groups, communities. You have, as you know, I think usually the Inland Empire has a celebration or someone that's celebrating. Oh, this is the one that's celebrating here in the Inland Empire.
No, this is from Carico. When we were over in Carico on a cruise, and I saw this poster in the window, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's in French, and they're celebrating Kwanzaa." So I asked if I could have it. Of course, he said, "No, that's the only one I have."
Yeah.
And then I said, "Okay." After buying several dresses, this is one of the dresses I bought while I was over there in the African shop. After leaving, upon departing, I said, "Asante Sana," and he said, "Asante Sana, you speak my language. You speak my language. Come on in. Come on in." So I went back into the store. He took the poster off the wall and gave it to me, rolled it up and gave it to me. And then he gave me a necklace too. So that's
nice.
Swahili. And it was really nice. I love that poster because it reminds us that it is celebrated all over the world.
Wow. Isn't that, you know what that really shows to me? That how one person can affect literally millions.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. That is huge. For him to, I don't know, how did he come up with the name?
Dr. Malala Karenga?
Yes, with the name Kwanzaa.
Mm-hmm. Having modeled his holiday on traditional African harvest festivals, Dr. Karenga took the name Kwanzaa from the Swahili phrase, which means first fruits. The extra A was added. Karenga said, simply to accommodate 7 children at the first ever Kwanzaa in 1966. So in Swahili, Kwanzaa already exists, but he added an A. The word Kwanzaa, not the celebration. But he added an A to accommodate the first 7 children who all wanted a letter.
Wow. Now that part I didn't know. So I'm like I said, you live and you learn, but I did not know that was why. All right. Well, now I know that there's a and I just gave a brief history of the two of you. Mm-hmm. I'd like for you to because I see the quiet one is Stan or Amari. So we're gonna let you have because I know my husband's the same way, so I know. So Stan, your name, you said it came from that you can do quite different things.
Yes, at the fire service we did so many different things, and so we're a jack of all trades. And so when I put my 3 things down, he said, "Well, you just about do anything they ask you to." So this is your name, and Amiri is versatile. So that's
They're beautiful names. They really are. I never knew how people, because I knew Ratibu personally, and he gave him his name also.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Years ago.
Okay. All right. Well, I know too. I want to make sure that the audience is aware. If you are interested, and I'll put this up quickly for you, and that is, if you're interested in learning about Kwanzaa, the official website is. Did I get the right one? Yeah.
Yes.
This is the official website. If you like to go there and learn more about because we're going to go over the days of the week. We're also going to speak to, because there's different candles that signify the days of the week. And that, remember, I think I was emailing you. I called it a menorah, and you said no. You're like, but see, that tells you out of ignorance. We don't know. but it's so nice when somebody corrects you and gives. For me, I love that. I would rather get it correct and know exactly what it's all called. So I'll let you tell us about the days and how the candles are and what they all mean.
Well, the candles represent the Nguzo Sala, the 7 principles. And so each candle represents a principle and the values which the African people are urged to live by. So this is not just the 7-day holiday, it's a year forever holiday. So if you follow the 7 principles year round, that's a positive thing. And so what we do is we are going to try to represent each principle each month and keep the thing going throughout the year. So let me start with the first one.
Okay.
Umoja, to strive and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. And it means unity, Umoja.
Umbji, the second day of Kwanzaa, self-determination. That's my favorite. I love saying to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our communities together and make our brothers and our sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together.
Ujema, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our stores, shops, and other businesses and to profit from them together.
Nia, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing our community in order to restore their traditional greatness.
And Nia is the 30th, and that's when we're having our event, the session on Nia, December 30th. Purpose. Kuumba, creativity, kind of like part of my name. To do always as much as we can and the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
All right.
And the last one is Imani, faith, to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And the last day of Kwanzaa is the first day of the new year. And historically, this has been, for African people, a time to somber assessment, things done and things to do, of self-reflection and reflection on the life and the future of the people and of the recommitment of their highest cultural values in a special way. So we take that time just to reflect on what we've done, what we're going to do, and how we can do more in the future to better ourselves and our communities.
Now, if I understand the way it works, is that every evening you're to get together with your family, and each one of the days is specific to that. But that's for you really are meditating on that and how you're going to go forth and become a better person because of these ideals. And like I guess what you're saying, Amari, is now it was because I've always heard it was just during those 7 days, but it is something we're to do all through the year.
Yeah, year round, you can live by the principles.
Yes,
I'll go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
On the national level, Dr. Karenga created Kwanzaa and introduced the Nguzo Saba, which is the 7 principles, for reconstructing our lives as a people, and which is also adopted by private institutions, public and private institutions throughout the country. So he created it, and there's private and public institutions that use it. Schools like, for instance, Umoja, Unity, is in several schools. It's a program for African American students. And that's one of the examples of how far his 7 principles go.
Oh, I'm sure they go far because I mean, what in those principles is nothing but good. radiating from the individual through the community, through society.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see why they wouldn't use those principles.
They do, though. That's really kind of nice.
And if you think about it, if you used all the principles year round, what a better community you would have. In other words, this was all designed for a community. And imagine if everybody used all the principles year round, it would be a very much better community.
It's a better world. So you're right. You're absolutely right. I know too, the candles, the candles, the very first set are red. Am I correct? On the seven candles.
The first candle is black.
Is the first candle black? Or the
middle candle is black.
Okay.
And that's light first.
Oh, okay. And I thought you went in the order. See? I didn't even know that. So you light the middle first, and then you go to the outside. And I don't know if you can hold those up. Oh, I see.
Yes. Black, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green.
Got it. And all of this, ladies and gentlemen, you can purchase the candles, everything. They're right online. I just put Kwanzaa in and up popped all kinds of. If you order today, you can have it in the next 2 days. It is without a doubt. So many people celebrate. They already have all the supplies right there on Amazon. Well, is there anything
let's go to the official Kwanzaa website and purchase the whole entire complete set there.
Yeah.
Including a book.
Yeah, I encourage you to do that.
Good. I will support the official Kwanzaa website supports Kwanzaa going out in the community. So
the African American Cultural Center in Los Angeles, and we're a branch of them also as the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group. Yeah, so go to the official website and purchase the whole entire set.
Wow. So you see that, ladies and gentlemen? Go right there. You can purchase everything. Go right on the website, whether it be the candles. What is it called? It's not a menorah. It is called that the candles sit on.
Kinara.
Yeah. It's a kinara. So each evening, when I've been to ceremonies, it's always been in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Always, it is actually a ceremony that we do the lighting of the candles. Sometimes we've had gifts, sometimes we have not, but we've always had food.
The koroma.
Yes.
Yeah. Karamu means feast, and we always have a delicious feast. So.
We always did. I mean, we still do. I haven't been to one lately though. But I remember that.
Yes, and first we have the ingathering. That's when people are coming in about half an hour before or more, and play music and socialize with each other. As far as that's the ingathering,
right? And
we do that first, but Karamu means feast, and yes, we do have a grand feast. We just went to a Kwanzaa event. I'm not sure if you were aware of it, but we went. I think you were. Yeah. San Bernardino Valley College with
I did know. Yeah.
And everybody. It was really, really nice. Really nice the way how they had it set up and coming in, doing a libation, and then having a grand feast, lighting the candles. And also we roasted an elder, our retiring elder from San Bernardino Valley College. And that's one of the things we like to do is recognize our elders. And we did that as part of the ceremony too. And it was just grand. It was just a great and happy time for all of us.
Wow. Well, I know too. Oh, I'm sorry.
Educate. I just want to do educational wise. I'm doing the educational part, so I'm going to do it right now. Okay. Educational wise, it's called a karamu. The whole thing is called a karamu. And we start with the in-gathering. Like she said, you come in and you spend time greeting and meeting people that you haven't seen in a long time. And I'm going to teach you a little Swahili. So when you go to one, the first you say to someone you haven't seen or anybody you confront, you say, habari gani. And in Swahili, that means, what's news?
What's the news?
Or what's the news? Oh. And so the answer is, ujima.
Njima.
Mm-hmm. And that means good news. So you always greet somebody with that, and they always return the good news. It's good news. I mean, no matter how bad life's going on, there's always some good news. So you always tell them good news. And so then after we do that, we do the in-gathering, and then before we even start the program, we have to ask the eldest person in the room for permission to continue with the Karamu.
Wow, I love that.
And so once the elder has given us permission, the next thing we do is we pour libation. And so in pouring libation, we honor those before us who have done great things for the community, life in general. And then we do raising of the names of our ancestors. And so as we do Fannie Mae Hayman and all these distant Black ancestors, we do our own ancestors. Like I will yell out my father's name because he's passed on, the ancestor, and everyone yells out a name of somebody that means something to them and who has contributed to their life.
Right.
And then after we do that, we do performances, spoken word, dancing, singing, and so on and so on. And then we do the feast. And then we light the candles, and then the last thing we do is a farewell statement. And so if someone's going to put one on, get a book, read the procedures, and do it properly so you actually hit all the 7 steps of putting on a Karamu.
When you do it, so you invite people into either your home or it could be a community center, but some may know what they're coming to, some may not know what they're coming to. How do you educate the people that are coming if they've never attended one?
I would just tell them that they're coming to a Kwanzaa event at my house or at somebody else's house, and this is the day number 1 or day number 4, and this is what we're celebrating that day.
Okay. Well, yes. I know. Oh, go on. Mm-hmm.
Right, and I just email them, and as we post things, if there's any questions, of course, we answer the questions. I answer the questions. If they want to know more, and whatever questions they ask, then we can answer them and tell them what the celebration is for, because it's a celebration. It's a non-religious holiday. It's not religious. It's a holiday created by us to celebrate. Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Is it? Now, I know, too, sometime I've been to where they exchange gifts. Mm-hmm. And then I've been at other ones and they didn't do that. So I don't know what the correct or what is right or wrong. I don't really know, but I've seen both.
Yeah, usually we do sawadi, which is a gift, and we usually give it to our kids for making commitments all year and keeping their commitments all year. But we can exchange gifts with each other also. But normally, like for me, I do it with the children around me. And some people will do it for everybody coming to their house, have a little gift. Yes.
All right. I knew, like I said, since I've seen it different ways, I don't know which one is the correct way. But for the basic, as far as the libations, which those of you, for the ones I've attended, the libations were water was in like a gourd, and they would, as you said before, Amari, you had said they would say that person's name and pour into really like a bowl. And they would
filled with fruit and lettuce and different things to harvest.
Right. And they're showing you, ladies and gentlemen, this is what is placed. I think, is it near the candles though?
Yes, I just brought it back from there, but it goes right there. And this is the unity cup. Unity.
That you're pouring from?
You're pouring from, yes.
Okay. All right. I see. We said we have Kwanzaa experts here, ladies and gentlemen. They have attended many celebrations and ceremonies and know the ins and outs of it. If you have any questions, I've noticed I'm seeing, hold on. Here's a question from Richard Nicholas. were you a member of Just Us? Were you a member of Just Us? Anybody?
It's
What
called
is
it's
Just
called it's called Us. And no, we weren't. But Dr. Malana Karanga was.
Us,
Okay.
not us, but
Okay.
us.
You know, it's called Us.
Yeah, us organization, and that's where Dr. Malana Karanga and a group came up with all the creations of Kwanzaa. And
Wow. I didn't know that either. I've learned.
it's not just us, it's just us.org, and you can actually look it up, and it just refers back to the official Kwanzaa website also. Yes.
All right. And then we have Elaine Wilson. Elaine says, hello, Stan, Amari, and Shelia Umbji. Did I say it right, Shelia?
Umbji.
All right. And the Futches. So glad to be here and to learn even more about Kwanzaa. This is so needed and inspirational. I love the principles and teaching our people to stand on these principles as a part of our lives. Outstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you to her.
Yeah, Asante.
Elaine is, I can tell you, I really appreciate. Elaine is a fan. She's here at every show. Hi, Elaine. So just so you know. And it means a lot. I tell anybody, it really does. So is Richard. Richard Nichols also. I can't thank either. I mean, they're here all the time. I can't thank them enough. There wouldn't be a show if you didn't have core people that come. So thank you.
Wonderful.
I know too on let me ask you this. Do you on the naming ceremony for your names, can anybody name you or just has to be someone? How does that work? Can you name someone else now that you've been named?
I did.
See?
I don't think you were there, but it was me and Lebedu and Amina and Amiri. We went to Sunnymead Ranch, and we had Kwanzaa over there. And one person, Linda, wanted her, I think her name is Hawaii or something like that, but Linda wanted an African name, Swahili name. So we actually performed it. It was really kind of cool. And they have a set way to do it. And first of all, what I had to do, borrowing books from Amina, is to get her characteristics.
Right.
And then I looked at characteristics, and then I came up with a name for her. And then we presented it to her to call her from then on.
Oh, how did that feel?
It felt great because so many individuals in the room, which you are familiar with, Sunnymead Ranch, when they have their little games and stuff in the beautiful clubhouse. Everybody was like, I want one too. I want one too. What about me? What about me? I'm like, okay, next time. So it was a celebration, and it was done during Kwanzaa, and it was just wonderful.
Well, it would, to me, was it a lot that you knew before you came there that you would be doing that?
Oh, it was planned.
Okay. And the reason I'm saying I'm thinking you can't do that at the spirit of the moment. You have to kind of get a feel for the person's personality and their spirit and those kind of things.
Yes.
But, so if someone sent all that information to you, I'm talking about me, by the way. And I said,
characteristic. Give me 3.
Oh, 3 quart. Oh my goodness. So you mean 3? Okay. I'll do it after the show. We'll do that. And
we also had a kawaii wedding. Kawaii wedding is from African style, African straights. And one of the main things about having our kawaii wedding is that instead of having bridesmaids and groommen, we had people speak for us. So he had 3 on my side, which included Retibu and Amina and one of my nieces. And he had his mom, his best friend, and his sister on his side. And then we're standing up there after libation. And then they each come and talk to me. And then they talk to him. And they exchange ideas about what we are to look forward to. And a little bit about myself, introducing me to my husband. So we had a kawaii wedding. It was beautiful.
Oh,
they even filmed it KBCR.
Wow.
Filmed it, and it was presented for years. We've been married 25 years, but they actually filmed it and presented it every Kwanzaa for at least 5 years or more.
Did they put it up on YouTube?
I don't think so. I don't think it was YouTube. I think it was, I'm not sure what venue it was, but back then, I don't know if we had a YouTube. That was
It's
25 years ago.
But if they have it, that would be a good place to put it. So someone that would be interested would have an example of what type of wedding, what it all entails. Because so you said you don't speak for you, they spoke for you. How does
We have 3 people. I picked 3 that represent me. She picks 3 people to represent her.
Okay.
And then what they do is they have one person step up, and her person steps up and addresses me and says, Amiri, you will treat Umbji with respect, kindness, and Umbji likes to laugh. She likes to have fun, and so on and so on. Then my person will step up and says, Umbji, Stan likes this and wants and likes to eat, so you need to be a good cook, and you go through those, and it goes back and forth till all 6 of them have spoken.
Oh.
So one of the things I really enjoyed about it was what part of the ceremony is you take they hand her and me a lemon, and we bite in this lemon, and then they hand us something sweet, sugar,
Sweet and sour, and
they tell us that marriage is both sweet and sour, and we have to learn how to live with the balance of the sweet and the sour.
Wow.
So, a lot of good things in a Kawaii wedding that I just really absorbed and enjoyed the day. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah. Once we got past the ceremony, there was dancing, a nice feast, and just having a good time.
It sounds like, well, when you said that about the sweet and sour, I remember an aunt told me that when you get married, you take the bitter with the sweet. That's how she did it. And that's how she told me about it. And she said, as long as you can understand that, and that it's not always going to be nice, there are going to be ups and downs, then you'll be fine. And so that sounds like the same thing they're saying. But they're speaking for you. So you don't speak at all, or do you just say, I do, when it's time to is that when you?
Yes, or I will. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said, okay. I knew you have to say it sometime. You have to.
Yeah. You have a minister, and he's speaking Swahili, and he's referring to the Kawaida theory, and I believe his title is a Saba, Saba, and another priest. In other words, priest, and he's the one that stands here, and we face each other, and he's standing here, and then we're facing each other. So he's reading what we're going to do, what we can expect, and what marriage is all about, and taste the sweet and sour, and drink from the unity cup, and stuff like that. So it's basically the same but different.
Yeah, because it's even the part of the sweet and sour that's not in when you see the quote unquote normal weddings or whatever. But it's still, I think it's a good time to bring it up. We tend to gloss over all that and just be at the not the honey, but the happiness, not realizing there's going to be good and bad. I think that's good to mention that. Well,
and the total thing is we have 5 rites of passage. First, we have the naming ceremony.
Okay.
What we already talked about. And then the coming of age, somewhat like the quinceañera. Like from a man to a boy, or from a girl to a woman, there's a ceremony. And then there's marriage ceremony, which we went through with our wedding. And then becoming or celebrating an elder, which we did the other night at the San Mateo Valley College. And then the memorial passing service. So when someone passes away, you have a service for them, transitional service.
So there's ceremonies for all of these times that are just in our lives, in everybody's life, basically.
In everybody's
life. And it's called Kawaida theory, and that's taking the best and the greatest from our African roots and ancestors and practicing those, which is the 5 rites of passage. And it's something similar to other cultures when they celebrate. They're different. I would say rites of passage, turning 16, getting married, or whatever. And that's the kawaida query, and something that we do practice in our own style, kawaida style.
Well, I know too that what is it that the boys, well, I say Jewish boys go through. Now I can't think of the name of it. It won't escape me. But I know.
I can't either. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, because in Latino communities, it's the quinceañera for the girls. Now I don't know if there's a quinceañera for boys. I know there's one for girls, and it's equivalent to a wedding. It is so extravagant.
Yes,
and that's the coming into womanhood. So that's the way the celebration goes. And that's why I really like what you're saying, is that in different cultures, there are different celebrations. And
yes,
I don't know, but I can't remember. It'll come. Watch, as soon as the show's over, it'll come to me what it's called. And that's when young men, they're in the Jewish community, and they have, it still won't come to me. But anyway, and they have a celebration. I think it's at 15. This is at 14 or 15. And that's their coming into manhood celebration.
So that's okay to celebrate. That's why we celebrate ourselves. This was created for us to be celebrated by us. Yes.
Because I think prior to this, I can't think of anything that celebrate other than the graduations at different level from school. That was the way we celebrate. So when you go from middle school to high school, those are the way, to me, those were our celebrations or birthdays.
Yes.
So I'm glad that but I didn't know about those. So actually, see, I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot from the two of you. I'm sitting here going, okay.
And we hope you do, and we hope everybody does. That's what we're here for, to teach and let people know what Kwanzaa and how broad it is. It's not just 7 days; it's forever.
That is that. I don't think I didn't realize that. I thought it was just those 7 days, because it starts the day after Christmas and it ends. Is it New Year's Day or the 2nd of January? New Year's Day. Okay, so that's that 7 days before it was even created. Nothing that really happened in those 7 days prior to this. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
There are no other holidays were going on then. There was no other celebrations. So it was really a perfect time, a perfect place to put something of this magnitude, so that it brings families together, friends together, community together to celebrate. I like it. Well, I've always gone to the ceremonies and things like that. So I would really, ladies and gentlemen, put this back up on the screen. And then before I do, Elaine says, she goes, "Hi, Mary, Oliver, and Richard." Hi, Elaine. And then I want to put the name, the official website, because if you want to get supplies, if you would like to celebrate, here we go.
And get a book.
And get the book.
Yeah, official Kwanzaa website. I presented 2 books this past event we were at. We presented it to the elder, and then we presented one to Kanisha Buffon.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
books.
How do you find out, do the elder and the oldest, do you say who here is 100 and you go down from there?
No, we kind of know. We kind of know who's the oldest in the room. The second oldest will probably be us, but at the time, we know who's the youngest and we know who the oldest is. And Kathy was retiring from San Bernardino Valley College. So even though we were already retired, but we kind of know who's the oldest and who's becoming an elder. And we recognized her as an elder and celebrated her within the Kwanzaa celebration.
Wow. And that's really which I'm so glad to hear that, because for what I'm noticing in our society, elders celebrated. We're not it used to be, I'll say this, when I was growing up, my grandfather lived with us. That was, putting him in a home was not even a thought. It wasn't even something we even considered. And nowadays that has become a way of life, that people don't have their grandparents in the home with them all the time, or that kind of thing. So I'm glad to see that celebration, because I remember they would say the oldest, the one I've gone to, they'll say anyone here 90 years old. and nobody raised their hand. Then they go 80 years old. That's how they found out, because they didn't know the ages of everyone. And then when the hands started going up, and they would go through, okay, 89 or whatever, and they raise their hand. It's usually only like 1 or 2 people when it's in the 80s or 90s. But the point was to honor them. And they just said everyone in the 80s, and they would say, we need permission to continue on with the ceremony.
Yes, yes.
And they always gave them permission. I can't think of one time and everyone would always look to that person. And that is a position of honor. And
yes. Respect.
It was. Mm-hmm. And they would always do like a pause to let everyone know who gave the blessing to continue on. And in fact, at every ceremony I've been to, that's happened. And that was always like that part. Because I think right now I'm up there where I'd be able to give the blessing.
And we're right behind you, if not in front of you.
and Mary, that tells you that people are doing it right. That's if everyone you've gone to, they've done that. They're doing it right. And that's a big part of Kwanzaa. We want it done right. They always, and like I said, they pause. That's what I did notice. They always pause. Because sometimes the people kind of talking quietly, whatever. They want everyone to know that this is our elder. This is out of respect for them. They can now open the ceremony up. And like I said, now, I don't know. If I go to one now, I may make it. We'll see. I'll be the one to bless the ceremony.
Yeah, and it is traditionally established. It is a traditionally established way of celebrating Kwanzaa. We should all therefore observe these established guidelines to make our Kwanzaa the most beautiful and engaging one, and to keep the tradition. Get the book, follow the traditions of Kwanzaa, and select and create the best and most beautiful items to celebrate Kwanzaa. This means taking time to plan and select the most beautiful objects of art, colorful African cloth, fruits, and vegetables, so that every object used represents African culture and your commitment to the holiday in its best ways. And I always say that you can make your own. Be creative. That's part of Kwanzaa too, being creative. You can make your own. Like we showed our set back here, the candles. People may make candles too. And they make different things. And we have the fresh fruits and vegetables here, and the corn. The corn that we have is representative of children. So that's why we have the corn. We don't have any children, but we have lots of community children, and we have lots of nieces and nephews. So that's what the corn represents. And of course, the unity cup. So just think of ways that you can make your own. Be creative, or you can go to the official KwanzaaWebsite.org and purchase the set.
And I would encourage all of you to do that. Now, I know too that now the reason for the black candle in the middle, is there a significance of why that candle is black and the other ones are red and green?
Black is for the people. Red is for the struggle, and green is for the reward.
Wow. So red, black, and green.
Red, black, and green. And same with the flag.
Right. That's why I said. I'm sorry, we didn't hear you.
We have the flag. It's underneath with the mat. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I knew that there was the red, black, and green for sure, but I didn't know that was significant. Why the candles were red, black, and green also. And the ones I saw, honestly, were like $20 for the candle set, something like that. Maybe a little more, but I thought that was very reasonable, by the way. So for those of you that are interested in purchasing, you go to the site and see those, and they deliver them right to your door. So you don't have to worry about it. So I would encourage you, go to the website, see for yourself. If you're already celebrating, then that's fine. Not a problem. But if you're not and you would like to start, what's number one thing? Get the book. Get the book. So this is what I think. I think you should know the original how to celebrate, and then you can create your own. You can hold it up.
This is my original book. I remember I said I gave away my 2 books. So this is one of the original books that I purchased way back. And it's actually autographed in the inside. And this was from 97. So that's what this is one of the original books, but he has 2 more since this one. And I would encourage you to go to his website and to purchase a book. It has so much great information. It really does.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you want to have your own, you can have it with your family, with your community, family and friends. And that celebration can be done annually. And as Amiri has said, it's really the principles. Well, I say the Futches have said they're year round. And now corporations are instituting these principles into their, you could say, policies as a corporation to work together as a unit or the unity.
And schools.
Pardon me?
And schools.
And schools. So corporations and schools are saying, we need these. We need these principles. So, if they need them as a corporation and school, we need them as families to work together, no matter what the case may be, whatever you're working toward as a group. I don't have to tell you, you can go further as a group than you ever can going there individually. There's no comparison, except when you work together. Well, I definitely would like to say, before we end this program, we still have more time, but I just wanted to make sure. Is there anything you want to add, Amiri or Umbji? Did I say it right?
Umbji, yeah. She introduced what's going to come up for the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group. It'll be and this is Kwanzaa's 56th year.
Wow. Wow. All right.
Yeah, the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group celebrations have been online for the last 3 years. And this also will be online, but it's a panel discussion, past, present, and future of Kwanzaa. And I'm on Facebook, so I posted it on my Facebook page. The upcoming event is the past, present, and future of Kwanzaa. The focus of the panel aligns with the 5th principle of the Nguza Saba, Nia, which means purpose, and it means to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore people to their traditional greatness. We will be discussing how Black people can become the best possible version of ourselves by increasing our understanding of the Nguza Saba, which is the 7 principles, and by more actively applying them in our daily lives, as Amiri was saying, all year round, 365 days a year.
So it's no longer just limited to 7 days.
No, that's the festival. But then the practice in your lives, we should be practicing the 7 principles and teaching our children and our youth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the date on that is Friday, December 30th at 6 to 8 p.m.
All right. And if they like to get more information, who would they contact? You could contact me. I can send. If they're on the email list, you will get the flyer that will be emailed out this week. So
yeah, you can use my email address too, Umbji@me.com. Or on
spell it for me and I'll put it in.
U-M as in Mary, B as in boy, A as in apple, J as in Jack, I as in Indian, at me.com. You can email me if you want more information, or you can go to my Facebook page too, Shelia Futch.
Let's see. Is that right?
Perfect.
Got it. Okay, because I want to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested, you can get in touch with Umbji, and she was going to make sure you get that flyer for December 30th. There's going to be a panel discussion from 6 to 8 p.m. and you're welcome to attend. It's all free. You can come, and it's the Inland Area Kwanzaa Group.
There you go. Good to you.
You tell I'm working at it. I want to get it right too, so I want to make sure. So this is on, and this will also be emailed out. But you definitely want to email her to make sure you're on that list. And she's the. You're on the panel? Are you on the panel?
I'm the moderator. Something I learned in Toastmasters, so I'm going to practice what I learned in Toastmaster, being the moderator, calling on the panel.
Okay, so those of you, and this year it was at San Bernardino Valley College. The only reason I couldn't attend was the same night as an important meeting I had, because I wanted to go, but I knew I couldn't. But hopefully there'll be another celebration sometime during the week. And I definitely plan on being there on the 30th. But there's another actual celebration at either Cal State, San Bernardino, or another college or anything like that we can attend. But we would definitely want to attend and make sure we do attend. If anyone we have to. It's all of the principles are just so. Let's go over before we even end the show, because we may have some of our guests may have come in later. Why don't we go over those 7 principles again as we come to an end?
Sure.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. I'm sorry, Ujima, unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, and nation, and the race.
Kuchitakalia, self-determination to define ourselves, name ourselves, for ourselves, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. To build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together.
Ujima.
I'm sorry.
Cooperative economics. To build and maintain our stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together.
Nia, purpose. To make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness.
Kuomba, creativity, part of my name. Do always as much as we can and the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
And last but not least, Imani, faith. To believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and our righteousness and victory of our struggle.
Wow. Every time I hear them, they resonate in me. They really do. I'm just like, wow. Because it's so needed. Everything is so needed, especially what's going on in society today. What I've heard people call before COVID, and then somebody says after COVID. Truthfully, we're not even after COVID. We're still in COVID.
Yes, we are.
No, I've heard that. I'm like, we're not after COVID yet. No, we still have a ways to go, but it still tells you we still need it. We still need all of those principles in our lives. And I definitely agree that they are year-round principles. They're not just limited to those 7 days. They're principles that should be in our life daily on how we can be better and help our community each and every day. Well, did you have any closing remarks for Amiri or Umbji?
In conclusion, keep the tradition of Kwanzaa as it was created for us. The best of what it means with both African and humans in the fullest sense. The Inland Area Kwanzaa Group celebration have been online for the last few years, and hopefully we will get back where we have them alive, and we will invite you to come and join us.
All right. And if you have any comments, any last words, Umbji?
He said it for me.
I love
If you have any questions, email me, contact me on Facebook.
All right. I'd like to thank you both for coming on the show today. I really do. And as I said before, which is the truth, I've learned a lot and I've been to ceremonies and everything, but being here and talking to two people, I mean, you're both, I call you experts, to be honest with you, in the ceremony and the meaning of, you've definitely encompassed everything about Kwanzaa. I'm getting Wakanda and Kwanzaa. I turned it into what in Kwanzaa. That you, the two of you, have really encompassed that. So I like to thank you for that, and thank you for being here.
All right, our pleasure.
Thank you. So, ladies and Amen. That is our show for today. I know you waving by.
Happy holidays. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We are down to 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. And so that was I was cutting it close because so many of you don't know this. The show will cut off. It'll cut off at 2 o'clock, and I don't really like that to happen. So I try to make sure we end the show without having that happen. So thank you all for coming to the show today. We will be back next Monday, the Mary D Talk Show, and we're always live on Mondays from 1 to 2. All right. Thank you. God bless you. Merry Christmas, and I will see you next Monday. Bye-bye, everybody.